Sometimes we can't imagine a solution. We can't imagine a life without alcohol and drugs. But we also can't live a life with it. It's too powerful. And even in the midst of our world crumbling down around us, the fears centered around quitting are still too great. They somehow still manage to mislead, manipulate, and lie to us about the truth of a clean and sober life. God wants an abundant life for us, one of peace, love, and faith. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 10. Though recovery can be hard at times, sobriety isn't supposed to be about endless suffering and prolonged misery. So I do my best, and let me point out that by best, I mean my best, not perfect. I do my best to choose what is honestly best for living clean, like being grateful, for instance, remembering that by all accounts, I shouldn't even be here. It's about forgiveness, and yes, that includes forgiving yourself. It's about faith, hope, love, and freedom. It's about overcoming fear, and it's about adventure. At least for me it is. Unlike the chains of our disease, sobriety allows us to make choices based on what's best for our recovery, our faith, our family, and ourselves. Choices that don't somehow manipulate others to get us what we want. I know almost every decision I made when I was using was based on how I could get what I wanted. And what I wanted was to feed my disease, to forget not only my past, but my present in order to feel better about myself and the world around me. If you're a practicing addict, these are usually some of the things you choose. I try to remember that if I wanted suffering and misery, I'd simply go back to drinking and drugging. However, if I make that choice, I give up all others. Early on, recovery gives us a chance at a much better life, an opportunity to live a life that's not based on fear and addiction, an opportunity to live life on life's terms, which isn't always easy because, in all honesty, life can and will sometimes be quite difficult for us addicts and non-addicts alike. Sooner or later, you're going to have to weather a storm or two, or three, or four. But chances are, if you're thinking about getting clean, or if you've been clean for a few 24 hours now, you're probably no stranger to life being difficult, or even downright miserable sometimes. So we need real solutions. And remember, just because we've made mistakes doesn't mean we are one. Just like events and circumstances don't have to dictate if your life is good or bad. That's entirely up to you. During these times of contemplation and early sobriety, please try to have faith. Fall to your knees and thank God for another shot at it, because we all know most won't even get the chance. Stay grateful and do the things you need to do to help you stay clean. We worked real hard at our addictions in our old life. Now we'll have to put in some elbow grease here too. So how about some early possible plans of action? Well, first, get to a meeting that helps you abstain from alcohol. They are literally everywhere. Or maybe you'll want one that's more centered on drugs, depending on your poison. Simply go online and check your area. Search for Celebrate Recovery meetings. If you're unfamiliar with CR, it's a Christian-based 12-step program for recovery. You can find it online. Join a church. Become a part of a different kind of community. If you need help now, call a friend or family member outside of your using circle. Someone who will encourage you and support your decision to be clean. If you have nobody to call, try a hotline. There are also recovery groups on Facebook. Know that quitting cold turkey for some may require professional assistance from a doctor or a hospital to properly detox. Remember, I am not a doctor. I am merely making suggestions from my past experiences. You may need to seek medical attention, and if so, don't be afraid to do so. And always consult your doctor, physician, or therapist in regards to making decisions where your health may be of concern. Never let a non-qualified person diagnose you. Work hard on improving yourself or your situation if at all possible. You may be terrified of the upcoming consequences to your actions. If you can, work through it. Do the time. Make your amends. Come clean, so to speak, so you can focus on your recovery. Drop to your knees and tell God your plan. Ask for His help and guidance. But once you've made the decision to get clean, tell someone down here too. Someone close to you. So tell them your intentions. Tell someone who you believe wants the best for you and truly wants you to succeed. Be this your first or 100th attempt, don't let the naysayers get you down. They're used to our hollow promises, and their trust factor is probably pretty low at the moment. And if you want to show them you mean business, show them with action, not words. They've heard them all. And they've probably heard them all from you. Then give it a little time. After all, we didn't become addicts overnight. Do your best to get out of the place that can sometimes be the scariest of them all, your own head. Try spending time with somebody less fortunate than you, or talk to somebody who may be going through similar circumstances, or just talk to somebody because they need somebody to talk to. I know there are many other things you can do. Again, these are merely suggestions, and some of the things I did early on in recovery, like early this morning. Anyway, I also have a faith, recovery, and music group on Facebook. You're welcome to join. It's filled with a whole lot of people like us, but no, it's also filled with a lot of folks who don't struggle with alcohol and drugs. Remember, they can't help not being addicts. They were born that way. It's not their fault. They're just there to support us and to maybe even lend a helping hand in the form of a few kind words once in a while. I don't claim to have all the answers, and I too am learning new things every day myself, but that's one of the greatest elements of our new lives. It's also pretty awesome that every 24 hours we have a brand new shiny day, one filled with hope, faith, forgiveness, and determination. If you're wondering what I think makes me qualified to offer these suggestions, well, I guess I don't really know how to answer that. But chances are, even as different as we may be, we're probably a lot alike. My entire life, I've struggled with addiction, low self-esteem, self-destructive behavior, and massive amounts of fear. Professionally, I've been a musician my entire adult life, touring and gigging all over this great earth. For the last 20 years, I've worked with the church as a performing artist, and as of late, I've even been blessed to lead praise and worship services. God's been calling me to do a recovery ministry for quite some time now, but over the years, I chose to ignore all of those calls, and I'm discovering that if God wants you to do something, you're going to do it, regardless of any excuse you can come up with. So maybe that's the reason. I'm also happy to say that, by the grace of God, I've managed to stay clean for over 26 years. and I've weathered a few storms myself. I know sometimes we need to go through seasons of hardship and trouble, and we need to experience these things and often hit our own bottom in order to grow. But wouldn't it be nice if once in a while we could learn through the experience of others? Well, that's enough about me, because this is about you, and hopefully you'll make it about them. Remember, together, we're better. Until next time, this is your old pal Tim saying, keep the faith, keep it simple, and keep on keeping on.